Hi everyone, it's Damien Dividend, and today we're going to evaluate stocks using the concepts we learned in Lesson 2. We will begin by reviewing stock concepts from the last lesson. Then we will do some research on and assess an SIF stock. We will then end by answering some questions that will help you with your 8th grade yearly project. By the end of this week, you should all be able to use the SIF website to research the stock concept of each SIF stock and use this research to assess whether you want to hold, buy, or sell SIF stocks. Start by completing the flash review on page 3.2 of your student workbook. Your teacher will then review the answers with the class. Look at the bottom of page 3.2 in your workbooks. We will briefly review the stock concepts that we reviewed in Lesson 2 and review how to evaluate them. We will also review the stock concept, dividend. Then you will research these stock concepts for each of the SIF stocks. Follow along with me as I read each sentence and fill in the blank. What is a price trend? A price trend tells whether a stock's price is rising or falling in general. What is the missing word in statement number 1? The answer is rising. It is good news if a stock's price is rising. What is sales growth? Sales growth is the decrease or increase of a company's sales compared to the year before. What is the missing word in statement number 2? The answer is higher. It is good news if a company's sales growth is higher than the industry average. What is profit margin? Profit margin is the amount of profit a company makes for each dollar of its sales. What is the missing word in statement number 3? The answer is higher. It is good news if a company's profit margin is higher than the industry average. A debt-to-equity ratio compares what a company owes to the value of the company's shares of stock. What is the missing word in statement number 4? The answer is lower. It is good news if a company's debt-to-equity ratio is lower than the industry average. What is free cash flow? Free cash flow is the amount of money a company has available to spend on anything it wants after paying expenses and making improvements. What is the missing word in statement number 5? The answer is higher. It is good news if a company's free cash flow is higher than its debt. Now, let's review what dividends are. You will want to check your stocks to see if they pay dividends and how much the dividends are. A dividend is the money that some companies send to their shareholders each year. It is a way for companies to share their profits with shareholders. If your stock pays a dividend, the dividend will be paid to your SIF account quarterly or when the company usually pays out a dividend. Some companies pay dividends once a year, but others will split the dividends into several payments during the year. Dividends are one way that a shareholder can earn money from the stocks he or she owns. A company can change the amount of the dividend it pays or decide to start or stop paying dividends. It is important for investors to stay up to date on this kind of information. You will now begin checking the dividend payments of SIF stocks along with the other stock concept information. Now you'll be split into groups and each group will be assigned a stock to research. You'll be logging on to the SIF website to perform research on the SIF stocks. Complete page 3.3 in your student workbook as you work. Then, each group of students will present their findings to the class. You should follow along and record the evaluations of every SIF stock on pages 3.4 and 3.5 as your classmates present. Your teacher will guide you through this process. Complete the statements at the bottom of page 3.5. Don't forget to consider other factors such as stock news and world events as you make your decision. If a statement does not apply to you, leave that statement blank. For example, a student who doesn't own any stock will leave statements 2 and 3 blank. Don't forget that you have a new investment option that is not a stock, but a mutual fund, the NASDAQ 100 Index Tracking Stock. It is called a stock because it trades on a stock exchange just like a stock. Detailed company research is not necessary when you own a mutual fund. You will learn more about how to track the performance of a fund in Lesson 7. Page 3.6 in your student workbook summarizes the important concepts reviewed in Lesson 3. Read this page and then use some time to further research the company that your class has been assigned for the year and write your notes on page 3.7. Then, finally, you will take a quiz that your teacher will pass out on Lessons 1 through 3. Thank you for having me today. This is Damian Dividend signing off.